We know that quantum field theory is same as animistic concept or waters of union, which describes the universe not in terms of particles, but in terms of fields that permeate all space, excitations and vibrations and frequencies. This means that even what we perceive as empty space is actually filled with active quantum fields. Our ancestors call them spiritual forces, each associated with a potential specific outcome. Our African sages described every space as teeming with spirits. We call it animism. Now, our consciousness, as proposed by these two powerful examples, quantum field theory and animism, are therefore like a quantum field. That is, our consciousness is like a quantum field. In other words, it can be able to interact with other quantum fields. In other words, it can interact with other spirits and be affected with other spirits. This is a very controversial idea, of which atheists, agnostics, and religious people and many scientists who say there is no solid valid evidence for that. Here is a question for them. We know that agnostics, atheists, and many other scientists in no way are they as powerful as those who are members of secret societies, Illuminati, Bohemian Grove. And the question is then, what have they achieved, these naysayers, when we look at these organizations vis-a-vis quantum field as well as animistic beliefs or realities? Despite all this, we hear the audacious proclamations of atheists, agnostics, and self-anointed scientists who dismiss the very notion of a creative entity, a divine force, or an eternal powerful something that sets in motion everything that we know in the cosmos. Their declarations, veiled in the guise of intellect and rationality, drip with an arrogance that rivals the very dogmas they claim to oppose. They can explain the how, but they have never been able to explain the why. In this video, we engage in critical examination of different worldviews, particularly general religions, atheism, agnosticism, and certain forms of scientific reductionism. What we need to define before we go any further is that an atheist is anyone who does not believe in an unknowable, nameless, not spirit or being creator, including creation. Therefore, an atheist is an individual who does not believe in creation. But we know that our ancestors taught us that the real creator is nameless, is not a spirit, is not a being, is unknowable. It is written in one of our texts, I am the hidden one, the one who cannot be seen. I am the mysterious one, whose name is not known. We want to dig deeper. We ask you to subscribe to our channel, to share, to comment, as well as to remember that our elders are no longer called elders. We call them now Horesita. Horesita means the overseer of mysteries or master of secrets. This is a high-ranking position that is given to a member of Marfado Family Network who has acquired the skills in esoteric knowledge and has practiced esoteric knowledge inclusive of embalming, magic, and religious rituals. So welcome. The best is yet to come from our Horesita. On this coming Sunday, December 22, 2024, around 1400 hours Adelaide time, South Australian time, we are going live for maybe 3 or 4 hours. We want to say the topic of discussion is a very exciting one. Only Roman citizens should celebrate Christmas. Only Roman citizens celebrate Christmas. You want to learn more, you want to be engaged, you can also enroll into Bantu Foundation Mysteries and study as a member of our Bantu University. And you can contact us on join@marfado.org if you are interested in joining our studies. Let's proceed to the matter of consciousness that we are dealing with today. Atheists, with their unyielding creed of disbelief, march forth declaring there is no God. They are partially correct in terms of their limited perception, in terms of definition, and in terms of what is firing their profound hubris. It's a shame that our minds as human beings tend to ignore the fact that we are limited. Categorically, we cannot deny the existence of a power beyond our understanding, which is what atheists in their confidence have been doing across the age. Their mind is severely limited. Therefore, their reason is tragic, and their reasoning is an overestimation of their human capacity to understand anything. And when we turn to the agnostics, these so-called paragons of balance and humility sit smugly on the fence, cloaking their indecision in a veneer of intellectual virtue. They whisper, we cannot know if God exists. Again, they are in error because they are using the term God. And God really exists because God is a deity. God, you can shape him, you can think about him, you can imagine him. You can know God. It's always a male. It is not a mark of wisdom for them to be in this paralysis of courage. Agnosticism, far from being the noble middle ground, often becomes a refugee for the complacent, those unwilling to wrestle with the profound truths that have steered humanity's deepest hue and a wonder for centuries. To equate uncertainty with insight is not humility, but failure to resolve. Let's look at scientists. They come in all shades. Some of them are drunk on their own methodologies and enamored with the power of their tools, boldly declaring that if something cannot be measured by them or quantified by them or reduced to an equation by them, it does not exist. They scoff and also proclaim that there is no evidence for God. They deny creation as they peer through their telescopes and microscopes, mistaking the mechanism of the universe for its meaning. Science, as a magnificent tool as it is, it's a finite tool designed to explore the natural, not the supernatural. It deciphers the how, but again remains silent on the why. It uncovers processes, but cannot touch purpose. These scientists gaze upon the vastness of the universe and see only randomness, not majesty. They observe the exquisite precision of physical laws, the intricate dance of particles, and the breathtaking complexity of life, and call it mere coincidence or mere evolution or mere chance. In their quest for empirical truths, they dismiss the very improbability of existence itself as irrelevant. But is such a dismissal truly an exercise of reason, of logic, and of evidence? Or it is just a convenient escape from grappling with the questions that defy their instruments? Let's look at the religion. Yes. Yet, even as we challenge the arrogance of atheists, agnostics, and reductionist scientists, we must also address the equally perilous extremes of blind faith and unthinking religious zealotry. These zealots cling to archaic holy books, often interpreting them literally and wielding them as weapons to suppress dissent, to stifle progress, and to justify their barbaric practices of converting others by force or by subtlety. Their unwavering belief, devoid of reason or introspection, creates a mirror, an image of their hubris, seen in a spiritual perspective, but actually as an antithesis of atheism. They claim to possess an absolute form of truth, yet their doctrines often reduce the divine to a rigid, human-like, man-made rule, stripping faith of its transformative power and reducing the spirituality that must come from it to mere dogma and doctrine. Now, when we look at the understanding that religions has given us, they've given us God, whom they have said created the universe. But they are in error, because the real creator, as we have already pointed out, is not a spirit, is not a being, did not even create anything, and is unknowable. But Christians come and tell us that if you see Jesus, you have seen the Father. You will need to buy our book, Free from God, to understand that the whole world has been taught about a deity who has a name, who has human attributes like mercy or merciful or powerful, and also like a king. And that also is in error and reduces the potential of creation to idolatry. Such blind faith taught and given to humanity today, either through agnosticism or some form of religion, alienates those who seek understanding beyond what they have been taught, because what they have been taught perpetuates cycles of violence, intolerance, and ignorance. It replaces the wonder and exploration with fear and control, turning the pursuit of the divine, or to understand the divine, into a prison of the mind. These zealots, like their atheist counterparts, fail to grasp the depth and mystery of existence. Instead of embracing consciousness and awakening consciousness so that it has a potential to infinity, they confine it to some divine or some pages of a divine or holy book, ancient text, and limit their understanding of it with their own interpretation, betraying the very essence of what could be productive faith. Faith is something that is deadly, that is dangerous, because a faith originates from the Latin word fides, which means to trust or to believe in something without any evidence. We cannot be like that. So to be against atheists and others means one must realize that atheism, agnosticism, reductionism, scientism, and blind religious zealotry all share a common flaw. They are all imprisoning human consciousness by limiting its perception and its understanding. They exalt certainty where that certainty is based on disbelief, indecision, empirical evidence, or rigid dogma, and ignore the profound mystery that transcends all of that. They proclaim knowledge while evading the ultimate question that defies all frameworks, or tooling, or understanding. This is the question: why is there something rather than nothing? Their answer, whether it be of faith, whether it be a vibe, whether it be a shrug, whether it be a formula, whether it be an invention, whether it be a contradiction, fails to take us to the mark. We want to understand this in a way of saying, in contradiction to atheists and many, many others, life is existence itself. It is not an accident. It pulses with a purpose. The universe unfolds with an order and a beauty that cannot be adequately explained by random chance or simplistic doctrines. Yes, something has to be killed for someone to survive in this universe. But consciousness is awareness that must transcend such contradictions in this beautiful universe in which we live. To reduce all of existence to impersonal forces, to cosmic happenstance, or rigid dogmas is to rob our actual existence of its fire that must fire it to move on. Such reductionism and zealotry are not enlightenment but impoverishment, a refusal to acknowledge the undeniable that there is a power, a mind, a source behind the cosmos, beyond our comprehension but not beyond our reality. You are here. You were there before the Big Bang. You transcend even dark matter. You transcend even dark energy. You transcend even normal matter, even neutrinos. You transcend the content of the universe because of that consciousness that is inside you. We live in an age of incredible scientific discovery. We understand the intricate workings of the atom, the vastness of the cosmos, and the complexity and the mechanisms of life. But while science excels at explaining how things work, it often falls silent on the deeper question of why. Why is there something rather than nothing? What is the purpose of existence? What is consciousness? We discuss the nature of consciousness, the human desire for meaning, and the exciting potential of enhancing our cognitive and experiential capacities through targeted training, diverse experiences, and ethical advancement. We know the hard problems of consciousness has been asked by a number of philosophers and thinkers like David Chalmers, who called these hard questions or hard problems on the nature of human consciousness. It explains the how. It explains what happens in the brain. While we can identify the neural and its correlates and then think that we have pointed to consciousness, we do not yet have a complete understanding that underlies consciousness. Nobody shall know. In conclusion, therefore, the way forward now, having looked at all these atheists, scientists, agnostics, religious, zealots, and many others that teach about God, we must stand in humility. We must stand in wonder and courage. We must reject the arrogance of certainty. We must reject the idea that we know, whether it comes from our atheists, our agnostics, our scientists, our religious leaders. We must embrace a path that combines reason with reverence, inquiry with introspection, and a faith with openness and evidence. Let us learn from the failures of blind faith and unyielding skepticism alike, so that we forge a path that honors the grandeur and mystery of our personal subjective consciousness. Only then can we move beyond the barbarism of the past and step into a deeper understanding of the divine, the universe, and ourselves. Your consciousness can, if allowed, perceive cleanly that which is beyond the waters of Nyunyu and verify what is beyond the chasm. It is purely subjective, yet atheists and all others are teaching you to subject that potential into a prison and locking you into a lifetime of unbelief and idol worship. Enroll today into Bantu Foundations University and study Bantu Foundations, which will qualify you to study Bantu metaphysics, Bantu mysteries. You can grab that opportunity today by sending us an email on join@marifado.org. You can also visit our website www.marifado.org and enroll using our website. Finally, most importantly, we thank you for being with us. We also thank you for being with us on our live videos, YouTube Live. We are again holding a live video, a YouTube video session this coming Sunday, 22nd of December, where we discuss the issue that Christmas is a Roman holiday for Roman citizens. We want to look at that as a fact. So thank you very much. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, comment, and at the end of the day, this is your manager to people Jaraba LM saying, yes, we are crafting a compelling legacy that will take our consciousness beyond the waters of Nyunyu, beyond the chasm. That's wonderful news to hear. Amen.